What up? What up? What up? Ladies and gents, boys and girls, you are now tuned in to a brand new video of Sportsway with Dre Day podcast. I am your host with the most, the Hood's ESPN, Crystal Street's very own, Dre Day. What's up? What's up? What's up? Once again, thank y'all for y'all continued support of the podcast. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. Again, if you haven't, it's right there on the bottom. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so that way once a video is uploaded, you will get a notification letting you know that I dropped some new content. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, all that good stuff. This video here, these past few days, it's been a lot of talk as it pertains to Russell Wilson's legacy in the NFL. And unfortunately, it's looking like his time as a starter in the NFL has reached its course. It was reported that this weekend, the Giants are going to go with their first round draft pick, Jackson Dart, this upcoming weekend against the Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, the first 3 games of the regular season, Russell Wilson was the quarterback. Obviously, the Giants have lost faith in him, and now they are going to the rookie. In the process of that, everybody now has this thing of, is Russell Wilson done? Is Russell Wilson washed? Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer? And everybody has had their opinions. I'm going to have mine as well. I'm going to speak on this from the aspect of what he's done on the field. And I'm going to get a little personal as well, because I honestly believe that some of this has to do with, personal stuff as well as it pertains to what I wrote in the thumbnail, why you hate Russell Wilson. So I'm going to put all of that in this right here. So the question came up, is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer? This was highly discussed on Thursday Night Football. The Seahawks was playing the Arizona Cardinals, and Tony Gonzalez, who's an NFL legend, and Richard Sherman basically flat out said that they don't believe that Russ is a Hall of Famer. I mean, Tony Gonzalez basically said that how he feels that Russell Wilson has played himself out of the Hall of Fame. I'm going to read the quote right now. But see, my thing is, when certain people say things, when certain people give their opinions on things, you have to listen, right? And when Tony Gonzalez says this, you have to listen, because he's heavily regarded as one of the top 3 tight ends in the history of the NFL. He's definitely in my top 3. I mean, my 3 is Gronk, Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp. Those are my 3, right? So depending on what era you is, Tony Gonzalez may be number 1, he may be number 3 or whatever, but I believe he's definitely top 3. But when he said what he said, I think it should be taken under serious consideration. And basically he said that how I forgot how the question came up. I think Clarissa Thomas, who's the host of the show, she basically asked the question, and Tony Gonzalez said, honestly, I hope we I think she asked, was this the last that we've seen of Russell Wilson? And then Tony Gonzalez basically said, honestly, I hope we have. If ever there was somebody who played himself out of the Hall of Fame, it's Russell Wilson. And I say that because look at what happened. what's happened. Ever since he left Seattle, when he was in Seattle, he was the man. He was making these good plays. He won a Super Bowl, went to two of them. But as soon as he left, he went to Denver, signed that big old deal. They paid him $39 million to leave, which is some cold-blooded shit. But hey, I digress. He goes to Pittsburgh, plays there 1 year. He's out of there. Now he goes to New York and has 3 games. I just don't know if it's going to get any better. And I don't want him on the sideline holding a clipboard. I just don't think he's done himself any favors since he left Seattle. And how's it going to get better? I don't know. Beautiful point. Beautiful point. Everything Tony Gonzalez said in that is absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Let's keep it all the way 100. Russell Wilson's career has dwindled since he's left Seattle. We're not we're not even going to sit here and act like that's not the case, because it is. He played in Seattle for 10 years. I think he played in 10 years in Seattle, and those were his best times. Obviously, he went to Denver, and like Tony Gonzalez said, they gave him that big contract. A lot of people didn't like him getting that contract. And what they didn't like about it was from the aspect of he started to get too full of himself. I think it was a situation there where I think he had his own office. I think he had his own parking space or some shit like that. So you're coming to a new team. Granted, you made your bones in Seattle. You now come to Denver, and then now you come here and you act like you missed the big shot. Granted, you got that big contract, but let's keep it all the way real. Pete Carroll wanted to get you out of Seattle as well. Like those last 2 years, Pete Carroll was trying to get you out of there. So now you come to Denver and you're trying to start anew, and then you go in there acting like you missed the get bad. And let's keep it all the way 100. His stint there wasn't very well. Sean Payton didn't rock with him, to the point where, just like Tony Gonzalez said, they paid him $39 million to just leave. So everything Tony Gonzalez said was right on the money. I'm not even going to dispute that. What made it even worse was the other person in the thumbnail, Richard Sherman. Obviously, if you've been living under a rock, Richard Sherman was a part of that Super Bowl team. I think it was 2013 in Seattle alongside Russell Wilson. And listen, he didn't mince words either. He basically said, I agree. I think you've got to judge his career off when the Legion of Boom was there. He had a legendary defense, an all-time defense, and how much success he had, and then without that legendary defense. Now, he was a winning football player in Seattle, and now you get to go on your own, and you get to prove, hey, I'm this great quarterback. I'm this guy that's going to be dominant, and it just hasn't worked out that way. Now, as it pertains to Russell Wilson's legacy, I'm taking everything about Seattle. I don't care about what happened in Denver. I don't care about what happened in Pittsburgh, and I don't care about what's happening with the Giants. I'm just assessing his 10 years with the Seattle Seahawks. For a lot of people out there, when it comes to the Seattle Seahawks, that I'm not even going to say dynasty, but that run that the Seahawks had, a lot of that is credited to the Legion of Boom defense. Russell Wilson gets a tad bit of credit, but for the most part, the defense gets that credit. Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Michael Bennett, Bobby Wagner. That defense gets the bulk of the credit, right? When you think of the offense as it pertains to the Seahawks, it was mainly beast mode that got it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Russell Wilson was chopped liver, because no, he wasn't. Russell Wilson was that dude. But, I think that question would be more so for like real Seahawk fans. Who gets the bulk of that credit? Who gets the bulk of the spotlight as it pertains to those Seahawk teams? But obviously, Richard Sherman, it's no secret that he doesn't have the best relationship with Russell Wilson. And I think a lot of that has to do, again, if you remember that Super Bowl with the Patriots and the Seahawks, and with Pete Carroll deciding to throw that ball at the 1 yard line as opposed to handing it off to beast mode, I think a lot of Richard Sherman's venom is still attached to that play that happened. And I think the game was in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. And Russell Wilson tried to throw that slant at the 1 yard line to I think Doug Bowen and Malcolm Butler of the Patriots just picked it off, and that just clinched the Super Bowl for the Patriots. Now, me personally, I thank him for that because Brady's my man. So, hey, that just gave him another ring. So, thank you for that. But for a lot of people, it was that situation right there. It was that play right there that really had people not liking Russell Wilson anymore. That play right there, because before that, people was vibing with him. People was liking him. But once that play happened, everybody stopped liking him. Everybody stopped fucking with him. And then that's when the criticism started. That's when all the hate started, right? But let's keep it all the way 100. If we're just talking about his 10 years with the Seahawks, Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer. Now, if you put everything in a vacuum, do I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer? No, I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. No. But if you just take his 10 years with Seattle, he is a Hall of Famer. Okay. In 10 years, he had 37,059 passing yards. He had almost 300 touchdown passes. He didn't even have 100 interceptions. He had close to 90, but he didn't even have that. Well, I mean, interceptions is interceptions, right? But he had close to 90 interceptions. His career high for a season was 13. That's the highest interceptions he had in the season, and that was the 2020 season. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the pandemic? So, yeah. Okay. 2 Super Bowl appearances, obviously. We know about the blowout that they did to the Broncos, and then the one that I just mentioned when they lost to the Patriots. 10-time Pro Bowler, and he made one All-Pro team. So when you put all of that in perspective, yes, Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer. Do I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer? No, I don't. No, I don't. But let's get a little personal here, okay? Another reason why I feel like people hate Russell Wilson is because, I mean, I I hate to be this person, but I'm not gonna say there's people out there that view him as a cornball. Okay. They view him as a cornball, which I don't see how he could be a cornball. All right. Uh this is someone who is married to Sierra. Now, obviously, we know who Sierra is. She's a R&B singer. She's an entertainer. She was with Future, had a baby with Future. Sierra wound up leaving him, got with Russell Wilson, and now Russell Wilson has had all these kids with her. And then for the most part, he has taken Future's son in as his own, right? There's some people out there that view that as cornball shit. Me personally, I don't. I call that real shit. I call that real man shit, right? But there are some people out there that view him as a cornball. I don't. I don't view him as that. But there are some people out there that view him like that. So you have that going on as well. So he has that against him. I just told y'all about what happened with his stint in Denver. He has that against him. And then listen, look what just happened look what just happened the second week of the season against the Giants. Russell Wilson damn near played his best game. His best game. And it wasn't even in the Seahawks uniform, it was in the Giants uniform. And what did he do in overtime? Threw it all away. Literally threw it all away because he threw an interception and the Cowboys went down the field and hit the game-winning field goal. Had Russell Wilson won that game for the Giants, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion right now. But he is a Hall of Famer. Like, let's not do that. Okay, let's not do that. He is a Hall of Famer, but do I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer? No, I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer because there are a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that we've scratched our head and said, yo, is this person belonging in the Hall of Fame? Now, I'm going to say somebody, and I know people are going to be upset. People are going to deem me as a hater for saying this, but it's not. But it's being perfectly real. It's keeping it 100. This is what I do here. Besides ruffle some feathers. Eli Manning. Is Eli Manning truly a Hall of Famer? He's in the Hall of Very Good. Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Eli Manning. Eli Manning is the king of interceptions. He's the king of turnovers. When you think about Eli Manning, obviously the 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots. He beat the evil empire 2 times. The first one, 18-1. That's what we know him for, right? But aside from that, what else did Eli do? How many playoff appearances did Eli have? Not that many. Besides those 2 Super Bowl runs, I can probably think of 2 other times that the Giants were in the playoffs. I can only think of 2 other times. Obviously, the one against Green Bay when they did the whole pitcher on the yacht thing. So that's 3 playoff appearances. He might have had 2 more. Russell Wilson did that in his stint in Seattle. Got 1 Super Bowl out of it and obviously lost the other one. But yeah, is Eli Manning really a Hall of Famer? Because listen, we all do the ifs, right? We all do those if games, right? If you take those 2 Super Bowls away from Eli Manning, is he a Hall of Famer? And I want Giants fans to answer this question. If you take those 2 Super Bowls away from Eli Manning, is he a Hall of Famer? I'll answer that for you. That's an absolute hell no. But he's going to get in because of those Super Bowls. He's going to get in because he's a Manning. Those are the reasons on why he's getting in the Hall of Fame. It's not because of his overall career numbers, because they're average. He's an average quarterback. Average. 50-50. That's what he is. Now, I know there's going to be some people that watch this and they're going to say, oh, you hating. You just still mad because he beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl. Please, miss me with that. Miss me with that. Y'all got to come up with something better than that, because my guy got 7. Eli got 2. Granted, he beat him in 2 of them, but come on. They're not even in the same stratosphere at all. The point is we have to keep it real here. So for me, if Eli can get in, which I think he will get in, I don't think he got in first ballot, but I do think he's going to get in eventually. He got 2 Super Bowl rings and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. You can't keep him out, but he's going to get in. But if he's in, or if he's going to get in, then Russell Wilson got to get in too. He's got to get in. He's got to get in. It's that simple. So I can understand the hate towards Russ. Some of it he put on himself, But is he a Hall of Famer? That's the question. Is he a Hall of Famer? Yes, Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer. So with that being said, this is the wrap for this video. Once again, thank y'all for y'all continued support. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. Again, if you haven't, it's right there on the bottom of the screen. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell so that way once a video is released, you will get a notification letting you know that your boy has dropped something new. Like the video, share the video. If you're intrigued and want to leave a comment, leave a comment. I will be gladly answer, and we can have a little back and forth with that. But again, thank y'all for y'all continued support. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. In closing, y'all know how this goes. This has been another video of Sportsway with Dre Day Podcast. Catch y'all on the flip side. God bless. Peace and love. Your boy is out of here.